Yeah, it's on YouTube. We're on Facebook, yeah. Yeah, we're on Facebook.
Get it up so we can see the comments.
There you go. Right.
We're on.
We'll
We'll give it a couple of seconds, see if we can get a few more viewers.
Let's get me a glass of water. Right. I'm ready when you are, mate.
Yeah, well, are we live now?
We're live. We're ready. I think we've got anyone watching. Who knows? Let's just
crack
go.
on.
Let's crack on. It's 5 o'clock. It's time to go.
Right, so it's that time of the week again.
Best day of the week.
Best day of the week, Fridays. We're back with another radio / live stream /
Live stream at the minute, yeah.
But with the PM's announcement in the week, we now have, in his words, a clear path to getting into the studio.
It's finally something that we actually know what's going. Well, we haven't got a date yet, have we?
We haven't got a date, but I would hope by this time next month, maybe we could start getting in. But
fingers crossed. Who
knows? Right, so today we're going to be reacting to the European action that's taken place in the week. Looking towards the Premier League fixtures and I think everybody knows the structure by now.
Yeah, you've got the predictions.
Yeah.
Happens every week. We've got some exciting predictions as well. We've got someone to join us, Martin Craney. We're going to put a bit of a clip it on after the show, but that should be going on. The main one Sunday, and then probably Tuesday, Wednesday, the second part.
Yeah, so you ready? So in the Champions League, let's start off with Manchester City. 2 away goals, a bit of a complete performance, would you say there?
Yeah, 100%.
All but through.
And yeah, like you say, I mean, the 2 away goals is the main thing. I know away goals as well at the minute, you can't really say they're as crucial as they were last year, but still at this point, and again, a great performance, a dominant, that's the word, dominant performance from him, and that man Cancelo, I mean, what a game he had really, and what a season he's having.
Yeah, definitely. He's definitely improved upon last season. But Manchester City, just a complete performance. I think they're as good as through now. I don't know whether the second leg's taking place at the Etihad, but I'd still imagine that Manchester City will probably see out the second leg relatively comfortably.
Yeah.
So let's have a little debate here, and it is, can Manchester City win the quadruple?
Well, the thing is, the way they're playing at the moment, I mean, what is it? Ridiculous run of form. I mean, they're about 24 unbeaten, is it? Well, was the last loss Spurs?
I think so.
So, I mean, the thing is, they're in the final of the League Cup already. I mean, you're probably marking favourites at FA Cup.
Yeah.
They've about all but won. It's theirs to lose now, the title. And in the Champions League, I'd probably say they're favourites as well, realistically.
It's the same old with Manchester City, though, in the Champions League, isn't it? I think it's more, for Manchester City, it's more of a mental thing now to get them over the line in the Champions League, because I would probably mark them down as the best team in Europe at the minute.
Yeah. I don't think there's any arguments with that anyway,
no,
is there?
I think if they can overcome this hoodoo in the Champions League, I don't see... Look, I think they are going to win the league. I'd make them favourites for the FA Cup, but I don't know, I wouldn't rule Spurs... I just can't rule Spurs out in a final. Jose Mourinho in a final. Look, Jose Mourinho's not what he was, and Spurs are going for a rough patch, but I can't rule them out in a one-off game.
The last game they lost, like I say, was against Spurs. You can't rule them out, but I think that they are heavy favourites, that's for sure anyway.
But yeah, so Manchester, it would be an unprecedented quadruple as well, wouldn't it? I don't think... Has anyone ever done it?
To my knowledge, well, in England, no.
No, so there
I mean, the closest was 99.
Yeah.
United. And the thing is, it'd give them a one. I mean, the United fans will say there's no fans there to witness it. And probably say there'd be no fans even if they were allowed in anyway. Yeah. That's the whole joke with City. But I mean, the thing is, it'd be probably the biggest achievement
from an English side.
Yeah, 100%.
Without a doubt. So yeah, Manchester City will be one to keep an eye on in Europe, without a doubt. We'll talk about Chelsea.
I thought they were the better side. I mean, I've seen people comparing Atletico to the Spanish Burnley. I think they are a lot more attacking than they used to be, and that is saying something. But God, it was, in my opinion, an awful game that was won by a moment of brilliance by Giroud. And he is the sort of player that does bring that. I mean, you've seen some of the goals he scored in the past. He does love a bit of a outrageous sort of goal, and that was the main difference between the sides.
Yeah, do you know what we give on this show? I'd say we give VAR quite a lot of stick, but you know, credit where credit's due. The right decision was made in the end.
Yeah.
Without it, probably wouldn't have been. So
I mean, if you can tell, no one in the human eye could see that the defender had flicked that over, and that is when it is, because VAR isn't the problem. Let's be real, it's the referees, and you got to give credit, like say, credit where credit's due, and a good VAR performance.
Yeah, and so Chelsea one step into the next round. I mean, you can't rule out Athletic, but you know, I think Chelsea will hold it out, and I think they'll be in the next round. So dropping into the Europa League, Tottenham were as good as through anyway, and you know, they got the job done.
Yeah, and Vinicius, the cheek of him, Vinny goal. I mean, now he keeps pulling out. It's not the Mbappe celebration anymore. It's
the Vinicius celebration. I think it's hilarious.
Do you know what? If he's doing it as a joke, it is, because it reminds me, was it Richarlison against Lincoln? He did, do you know what I mean? He did it against Marine, and I think you're taking a mick there, and now against Wolfsburg. But no, it is, to be fair, it is quite funny looking at it, and I mean, it would have put Wolfsburg to beat him anyway. No. It was dominant from him.
How's your heart rate after last night?
Jeez, I mean, you'd see me that. It was awful game, really, wasn't it? I mean, to say we were lucky, to say the least, is probably an understatement. I mean, Ceballos at fault for both the goals.
Not the best
and
night.
Benfica, nowhere near the team they used to be. They are shocking. Let's be real.
Yeah.
And we scraped through. And the next, well, we'll talk about the next round later. But I'm not too confident, to be honest with you. I mean, there's three players that just dig us out the rough every time. And Saka.
Aubameyang.
As them three stay fit, I mean, we've got a fighting chance.
I was going to say, Willian coming on making the difference.
Do you know what? And you could have an argument for man of the match, really. I mean, it was a sort of game where you needed like a cool head. He's got the experience, and he got the assist. It's sort of Tierney's still got a lot to do, but now you have to give credit where credit's due. And it is the first time since Fulham we can give him credit, but
still a lot to do to change your mind in what you're doing.
Still a lot to justify that wage.
Manchester United, I think, you know, same case as with Spurs. They were pretty much through anyway, but they didn't put on a show like Tottenham did, I suppose, which is probably because of the opposition. But I'm glad I didn't watch this game because it was 0-0.
And they didn't really need to.
Dean Henderson saving a penalty.
But that's probably a good thing for them. You
know,
they're
giving him a bit of confidence, keeping a clean sheet, and
there's
not really a lot I can say about United versus Sociedad because it was just a bit of a non-event, really.
Complete contrast to the first leg, that's for sure.
Here's one I didn't see coming. You know, I thought after the game in the first leg, being held, I really didn't see Leicester going out last night. But full credit, I watched pretty much every kick of this game, and full credit, I thought Slavia Prague was a really decent outfit.
Yeah, and like you say, losing some of the best players last season to West Ham, you got to give them full credit. I mean, did Leicester have...
Madison's injured and Barnes didn't start, but other than
even that Vardy was playing, then it sums them up, really. I think they're probably going to focus, of course going to focus on the league now. They've got nothing else. Well, they're doing FA Cup, but
why wouldn't they focus?
I'd have thought they'd have given it a go. They had a good chance.
I'd be fuming if I was a Leicester fan because they're not going to win the league.
No, 100%.
They're not going to catch Man City up, and I just don't see why they wouldn't go gung ho for the Europa League.
Well, it's just a bit daft.
You know, what's the worst that could happen? You know, they could drop outside the top four, but if they win and win it, they qualify for the Champions League anyway and get a trophy in the process. I don't get the thinking there. Brendan Rodgers hasn't got a lot wrong at Leicester, but he's got that one wrong in my opinion. But full credit to Slavia. I thought, they did look a really decent outfit, and Yeah, they shocked me because I really didn't see that one coming.
No, well, exactly. I think they shocked a lot of people, didn't they?
Rangers, it was another goal fest. This time at Ibrox. I think it finished 9-5 on aggregate or something.
5-2 and 4-3.
Crazy. Full credit to Rangers as well. I think they're a really good side to watch at the minute.
Well, you can't complain with 4-3 and I mean the way the 4-3 went about, it wasn't an ordinary 4-3, was it? Jesus. And like you say,
I think Rangers could have a real good run at this.
Well, 100%.
Which we'll talk about in a sec because we're going to react to the draw now. Olympiacos, it's deja vu for the Arsenal.
Yeah. Do you know what? I saw it coming. As soon as it's an Olympiacos draw, I thought, I know what's coming next. And we've drawn, 6 at last 12 seasons in European football. Says something, doesn't it, really? I mean, the thing is, I think there's a bit of a... After that, what happened last season, there's probably a bit of a reason for the players to go out there and prove them wrong, prove a point, and...
I mean, you've won in Athens, you proved that last night.
Yeah, well, just about, and yeah, I think really it's just down to the players, get through, and then let's get to the quarterfinals, let's be honest.
Spurs versus Dinamo Zagreb, the Luka Modric derby, as it's been billed.
Yeah.
Tottenham really... I've got to be honest, this is probably poor on my part, but I can't say I know a lot about Dinamo Zagreb.
I've seen them play live.
Right.
That's my little... what was it, 2015 in Champions League? Beat them 2-0. Didn't look out special then.
No.
What they are now, I can't say I sit and watch them week in, week out.
But you'd imagine Tottenham will have enough to
get
past them.
But then again, I mean, it's one of them ones, you can't really call anyone out, can you?
No.
I mean, we've seen enough shocks. I think the big one that we haven't even spoke about, I know it's not English football, but we'll just Hoffenheim.
I was going to say
Granada's a big one,
Granada in their first European campaign, knocking out Napoli.
Yeah, and then I think the Molde one, they were 3-0 down against Hoffenheim.
Yeah,
right back in the first leg, turn them over 2-0. I mean, so who knows? They are massively favourite, let's be honest, but can't call anyone out of it.
This is a fixture that in years gone by has probably been a Champions League encounter. Manchester United versus AC Milan. Where do you see this one going?
To be honest with you, I think now AC Milan obviously top, and we've proven a lot of people wrong. They've dropped off recently. I think they're second now in the Serie A. And I don't... God, who was it they played? Was it Red Star Belgrade they had? Before.
I believe
so.
Whoever,
but they made a meal out of it.
Yeah.
And I do think, on paper, I think United probably favourites. Like I say, I think Ibrahimovic is probably going to... I mean, you know what he's like. Yeah. He'll have something to say. He'll probably have something to do in the match. I mean, it'll be no short of
drama.
Entertainment, drama. What better on a Thursday night in the Emmerdale Cup, a bit of drama.
Yeah. And then Rangers against, because it would have been Rangers versus Leicester, which would have been such an intriguing game, but it is Rangers versus Slavia Prague, and this will be a game where both, what I saw from Slavia Prague last night reminded me a lot of Rangers. They just went for it, really good on the counter. I think this will be quite an interesting game, but I do think Rangers will have enough to get through. I think this is a real opportunity for Rangers, because being realistic, the title's going to be wrapped up within the next 3 games.
Could be at Celtic Park.
Which,
I think it's as much a big game for Rangers as it is Stevie G himself, because I think, do you know, when a lot of people said, he's only won the league with Rangers, I mean, you say only, it was Celtic's year really to win it 10 in a row. Stevie G, there's a lot of people that say, and I'm one of them, he shouldn't be handing out jobs to people that were brilliant footballers. It doesn't necessarily mean they're a fantastic manager. I mean, we've seen in enough cases. Frank Lampard with Chelsea didn't work out probably how they planned. Thierry Henry, I think if he could, I mean, even to the semi-final, we've seen Celtic in Europe over the years. I mean, they live off that game
against Barcelona,
and do you know what I mean? It could be a big game for Steve Gerrard in his managerial career, and like I say, a big game for Scottish football.
But what I'm thinking here is, like I've said, Rangers realistically will have the top wrapped up, possibly before. I don't know when are these games being played.
What the games leading up?
No, the games. The next round.
2 weeks, I think.
Rangers
get a week off.
Rangers could have the title wrapped up then.
And then they can just
focus on the
give
Europa
you
League.
for
Maybe they'd want without losing in the Scottish Premier League this season, they'd want to focus on keeping their unbeaten record. But still, I'd imagine they're going to get this game against Celtic out of the way. Realistically, what other games are Rangers going to lose? I think
the only other one maybe Aberdeen, Livingston.
I don't think Aberdeen are that good. Livingston, Livingston are having a decent season. You can't rule Livingston out of that. But no, I think this is a real opportunity for Rangers. With one of Manchester United and AC Milan going out as well, that knocks out one of the big boys. Yeah. And I've got to be honest, I think Rangers will give you and Tottenham a game.
Oh well, I said 100%. I didn't want to get Rangers because I think they beat us. 100%. I mean, the way they play, it'd be a tough game. So hopefully, if we get through against Olympiacos,
that'd be one to hype up Mr. Tierney, wouldn't it?
Yeah, well, 100%. Yeah.
But no, so dipping into the Premier League now.
Yeah.
We'll start off, have a look as we always do through the fixtures, give our predictions. 12:30 kick-off tomorrow on BT Sport. Manchester City versus West Ham United. West Ham, I predicted them to beat Spurs last week. Bold call from me, and they did. What a job David Moyes is doing.
100%, yeah. I mean, like we say every week, could it be the David Moyes' Hammers on tour? And what about for West Ham fans? Fans looking like they could be back next year. They could be going across Europe. I think this is probably a bit of a step too far. City at the Etihad. If they pulled out a result here, then it would just be phenomenal. Yeah, I do think that City are going to be way too much for him. And I think, like I say, it might be a step too far for West Ham. You can't rule them out of it. But no, like I say, we've said enough about City. We've said how fantastic they've been. Personally, I'm going for a City win. But I do 3-1 to Man City.
Yeah, I don't think this will be a pushover for Manchester City by all accounts. But I'm going to say West Ham are going to make a bit of a fist of it. I'm going to go only 1-0 to Manchester City.
Well, I think it's not a bad shout. Like I say, I mean, the thing is as well, Man City not really scoring as they have been.
West Ham not really conceding as they have been over the years as well.
But like I said, I just think it'll be too much.
No, I think they will. Yeah. But I do think West Ham are going to make a decent game of it. I don't think it'll be a pushover whatsoever.
Right, just 2 seconds. We have got a couple of questions. We'll just deal with them. So we've got Rory. Will the Soccer Saturday boost land tomorrow?
Same old question every week.
What is it?
It's. I think they're all EFL teams.
Yeah.
So we'll come to that after we do the predictions.
Yeah. And then Alfie, where did you get your haircut? I forgot I had my haircut, and I've just seen on there how bad it is. So please ignore the haircut. I do need the barbers to open because it looks like someone's just got a bowl around my head and shaved up to it. But I've looked at that and the lighting is not doing it any justice. So we'll move on to the big game.
West Bromwich Albion versus Brighton. Now, look, if anything, any game epitomised Brighton and Hove Albion this season. Was it last week? Sorry, Monday night.
Monday night, yeah.
How? Only Brighton could lose that.
In the big derby. The biggest derby in the Premier League.
Sorry to any Brighton or Palace fans watching. In the A23 derby.
No, I don't know how Palace have nicked that. And it does sum up Brighton this season. They just cannot score.
No.
The amount of time, I mean...
And I thought Brighton had turned the corner recently as well.
Yeah, and I mean they have. I think the thing is they've done enough. Well, have they done enough to be safe?
No,
on that
only
run
1
now.
point above Newcastle.
You forget actually that they've got the win at Anfield. Imagine some of the results that couldn't have gone their way. And the thing is, West Brom need to win this. I think West Brom.
We say this every week, though.
Yeah, but I do think.
But West Brom do need to win this.
Are going to go all out.
Looking back last week, it wasn't a bad result at Burnley. Yeah, 0-0.
Yeah.
Going out to 10 minutes, I think was it Ajayi got sent off?
Yeah, for the
worst
handball.
I think it was about 20 minutes in, so fair. And do you know what? From what I saw, West Brom had chances.
Yeah, they did. And the thing is, like we say, you can't, especially in this season, no fans, you can't rule anyone out of it. But I do think that West Brom are going to have to go for it. And I do think Brighton are just going to pick them apart. I did say Brighton would win 3-0 against Palace. Obviously didn't go my, should have probably gone my way. But two fantastic finishes, by the way. I mean, the first one, you got to love a little back heel, haven't you? But now, I'm personally, I am going to stick another Brighton win. But I'm not going to go them score 3 in a game because I don't think they're capable of it.
No.
I'm going to go 2-1 to Brighton.
Again, I think this is, like you say, West Brom are actually really impressed with their transfer business in January. I do think if West Brom weren't so cut adrift after their transfer business, I think they'd be in with a fighting chance. But I really like Diagne. I think Maitland-Niles is fitting like a glove.
100%.
Snodgrass was a shrewd bit of business. I think West Brom would be in with a fighting chance had they,
done this earlier.
Yeah, they've done this earlier, yeah. But I am going to go West Brom to win 1-0.
Bold choice. Can I just say, before we move on, we have got another question. Prediction for Derby versus Forest from Beth. We are moving on to that later. We're going to get all the Premier League stuff out of the way and then we are moving to the EFL.
Right,
so we'll talk about
next
that.
up is the Twitter derby, as I like to call it, because, they're two sets of fans who like to make absolutely everything about themselves. Leeds versus Aston Villa.
Yeah.
I don't think Jack Grealish is going to make this one, which makes Villa's task a whole lot harder. Of course, this is the reverse game where Patrick Bamford scored a hat-trick at Villa Park. Villa, let's be frank, were awful against Leicester on Sunday. Which I actually predicted them to win, but I didn't realise Jack Grealish was injured.
Yeah, well, I think the only person that did was that lad that checks all the... Is that
fantasy
the fantasy football guy? It's like them ads. Premier League football teams hate it. An outfit, aren't they, really? And I think Leeds, off the back of a 3-0 win against Southampton, 3-0, brilliant result for them, really, yeah. And the thing is, I think, like you say, without Grealish, they aren't the same team. They can concede goals at times. Like you said, reverse fixture, Patrick Bamford hat-trick. He's a different player on the road somehow. I don't know how it works, especially with no fans. But I do think that Leeds are gonna win this. Are we gonna go? Do you reckon there's gonna be another given goal, another bit of
maybe
unfair play? I'm gonna go personally. It's a tough one actually. I'm gonna go 2-1 to Leeds.
I'm gonna go 3-0 again.
Bold call. I think.
By the way, on the subject of Leeds,
yeah.
If we hadn't mentioned already, we have got tickets to Leeds Festival in August, which we're looking.
We don't like to mention it.
We don't like to mention
I don't
it.
think
We're keeping it under wraps.
Yeah.
We're not talking about it.
We'll be flying the NBF flag high.
We could do it.
After we'll be on who's on the Friday night?
Whilst Liam Gallagher's on.
Oh, well.
Whilst Madison's on Saturday, maybe. But no,
we'll see.
Keep your eye out for that. So we've got Newcastle United versus Wolves next, and I've been very critical of Newcastle this season. But you know what? I thought they gave a really good account of themselves at Old Trafford, which is not something I've said often this season. Unfortunately, I think when it went 2-1, the confidence that they're lacking at the minute, I think it was game over. Wolves...
Another team that we've given a lot of stick to this season.
Back on track. How did it on last week? I forgot.
Was it Southampton, I think. So Leeds Southampton was in midweek, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I think they beat Southampton 1-0.
Yeah, well, back on track.
I think it was that was last Sunday, I believe.
I can't even remember.
Oh, God.
I'm going to check that.
It's all merging into one.
You just keep waffling and I'll check it out.
Like I say, two teams that have been heavily slated. The Newcastle game, I mean, I predicted it perfectly against United, didn't I? I do think... It is another, and if it's another one, and those it is tough to call. I think Newcastle. I mean, we've said this about to win, and have they got it in them without Callum Wilson? I mean, that is the main thing. Is the goals are lacking.
Wolves beat Leeds last Friday.
Oh, of course. Yeah. Southampton was the week before. Wasn't
I've had a mind blank.
Yeah. I do think the. Do you know what? I'm going to back a draw. I think it's going to be a 1-1 draw. I don't think there's going to be much in it. Many goals. Watch it be about 5-goal thriller after I've said that. I'm going to go 1-1 personally.
I don't do it often. I'm going to give Newcastle a win here. I'm going to go 1-0. I've just got a feeling.
I think it could go either way.
Alan is starting to turn up now.
Yeah.
He's starting to, put goals into his game.
Great finish, by the way.
And if he turns up, I think Newcastle are going to win.
Yeah.
So I'll go 1-0. So next up, a game you weren't really looking forward to until last night.
Yeah.
You saw how Leicester performed. Leicester away for Arsenal. How do you see it going?
Well, I think it could have gone a lot worse if Leicester were through on the back of a win. A bit of a confidence boost. I think Maddison is out for it, which is a massive bonus because, like I say, you've seen how he plays. He is an absolutely fantastic player, and he is crucial to that team. I don't know whether is Barnes going to be playing. Was he on the bench?
I think he was just rested. Yeah, last night.
I think he goes under the radar. Harvey Barnes really playing well this season. And I think when you've got a player like Maddison who probably takes the headlines and Vardy scoring the goals, I think, to be honest, it probably is a good thing for him. And that's probably why he's progressing. But like you say, the win last night for us, which albeit wasn't the most traditional win, it wasn't how I'd like to have gone. I do think it could be a bit of a boost. I don't think that the boost. I don't think it's going to be an easy. It's an easy game. It's never an easy game. The reverse fixture, I thought we give them a bit of a. Well, we could have gone 1-0 up. Like I said, the goal to select. I don't like backing an Arsenal loss. I did do against City and I got the 2 points, but I genuinely think that Leicester, it's one of them games where I can see them just having a bit of a
an off
jump in the road.
Leicester are susceptible to as well.
And I'm going to give it a bit of a goal, 4-goal thriller. I'm going to go 2-2.
I'm going to go, bold call here, Leicester 1, Arsenal 2.
Well, I'm glad you're back to win, and it's not me for once.
Yeah, that roles reversed.
Yeah, but I mean, the thing is, I think it will be a good game.
Yeah.
Sunday morning. Well, afternoon. Morning for us.
Yeah. So, at the same time, you've got Crystal Palace versus Fulham. Now, you know, we've spoke about Palace and their I don't even know how to describe it, their smash and grab at Brighton.
Proper FIFA game.
Yeah. If that was a FIFA game, you'd be chucking your controller.
You wouldn't be existing.
Fulham playing with freedom, playing without fear. Yeah, and they're getting some wins under their belt.
They've got nothing to lose, haven't they?
No, they haven't got nothing to lose. They're in touching distance of Newcastle now, which is great. And you know what? Look, you know, Palace fans will love beating Brighton. They'll have loved the way they beat Brighton because, let's be frank, they didn't really deserve to. But I'm gonna say 1-0 to Fulham.
Do you know what? I'm gonna back a Fulham win because I thought, albeit they got the win in probably a big game for them. I do think Palace are safe, despite the absolute terrible run of form that they've been on. And I do think Fulham, they need to start turning these draws into win. I think they're unbeaten in 6 on the road, and I think they're going to continue, and I think they are going to turn it into a win, and I'm going to back it. I'm going to go 2-0.
Absolutely massive London derby as well. Possibly the 2 biggest clubs in London.
Probably are.
Right, Spurs-Burnley, I don't think this is going to be one. We can keep this short and sweet. Spurs are going to have enough. Burnley will probably make a fist of it, but I'm just going to go Harry Kane to score, 1-0 to Spurs.
Do you know what? I'm going to go 2-1. I think Burnley are going to... Not too Burnley. I think that Burnley are going to... Probably maybe Ashley Barnes, you know, get a bit of maybe a lifeline, but then I think, like I say, Harry Kane will be too much for him, and I'm going to stick 2-1 personally. Game
of the weekend for me, Chelsea versus Manchester United. Let's hope it's a little bit better than that absolute...
Was it 0-0?
Turgid, horrible game that was...
It was the...
that was at Old Trafford.
Harry Maguire, John Cena moment.
Yeah, but I think Chelsea we had a few more questions.
I'm just having a look now.
We'll answer them after. We'll have a little bit of not a break, but like a bit of
a discussion.
It
don't look like we've got any anyway. So
so Chelsea v Manchester United, a different beast under Tuchel. I'm gonna go 2-1 to Chelsea.
Do you know what? I think. I mean, I don't know how many times I'm going to say this. They have to win to keep a title challenge, if you can call it that, alive. I think, to be honest with you, they're probably the closest that are going to get, with them and Leicester, the closest that are going to get to City. And I just can't see them. I mean, City definitely having the favourable fixture of the weekend, albeit not an easy one against West Ham. Definitely a more favourable one than at Stamford Bridge. And I want to stick with you. I want to go for a Chelsea win as well. I'm going to go 2-0. I think that, like I say, I mean, that win against Atletico really was. I know the bit of the... Oh, of course, it was the drew Southampton.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, I think it was early kick-off. I mean, that says it all. Nothing ever surprises you in the early kick-off. And I'm going to go 2-0.
Yeah. So, you know, Liverpool well documented their struggles. You know, with no disrespect to Sheffield United, is this the perfect game to get them back on track? Sheffield United away.
Well, I put it out there. albeit for his former club, Martin Craney has backed a Sheffield United win here, and thinking back, the reverse fixture, Sander Berge put them 1-0 up, I believe. I think it ended 3-1.
Yeah.
But there's hope there. Liverpool, with all the injuries they've got, Sheffield United, could they get a bit of a probably late, a bit win in the season for them? They should be. I don't know if they do it. Do I back a Sheffield United to win? No, I do think even how poor Liverpool have been, I think, like you say, it's the perfect game for them to bounce back with. I don't think they're going to make an easy game out of it. I want to go 2-1 to Liverpool.
I'll go 3-1 to Liverpool. I just think Sheffield United. I think there were talks of maybe a little late run, but I think the last 2 games they were all.
Oh, they're absolutely awful. West Ham, they were so poor.
I think that's Sheffield United done now.
I think they've got a chance to sort of. I think we said you can build upon it if they get a late run of form.
No, I
don't mean to. You look at
bit
Newcastle.
Of confidence going into next season.
Newcastle.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But I think Liverpool have too much. I'm going to go 3-1 to Liverpool.
Yeah.
Everton, off the back of their heroics last week, I'm sure some Everton fans are probably still a bit hungover now. They're facing Southampton at home on the Monday Night Football, and do you know what? In typical Everton fashion, they'll have done all that last week. They'll be absolutely bouncing. I think they're going to drop points. I'm going to cap it off. The weekend's action with a 0-0 draw.
Do you know what? I back the Newcastle win. I think Everton again, and a good run of form, like you say, probably a bit hungover from last weekend. Southampton, poor run of form, got the point against Chelsea. I want to go Southampton.
Right.
I think the thing is, I think it's the sort of game that Everton, they go and they get a massive result, and you think, I tell you what, Everton could do it again, and then it's the sort of game that they battle.
Right, let's have a look at these questions.
We've only got one more question since the last one, and it is.
Wait, no, what's the soccer Saturday boost? Let me just get it up on.
While you get that up, the other question is thoughts on Amad Diallo Old Trafford debut last night and how many Ballon d'Ors will he win? I'm pretty sure you can guess who it's from.
I'm not even going to dignify such a ridiculous question with an answer.
I don't think that can be answered.
0 is my answer to Ballon d'Or. The Soccer Saturday price boost for Saturday, 27th of February. Swansea at home to Bristol City. Brentford at home to Stoke. Barnsley at home.
No, it's not going in. Bristol City are beating Swansea. I'll tell you now.
Do you know what? It's actually quite a good question, this, because this boost, these 3 games, all focus around teams we're going to go on and talk about.
So what? So it was
Swansea to beat Bristol City, Brentford to beat Stoke, and Barnsley to beat Millwall.
Oh yeah.
So do you know what? We can answer this question in the
without even
in the process.
Yeah.
What other questions have we got?
The other one was predictions for Derby versus Forest. Obviously, massive game.
Which we're going to talk about now.
And we are. That was part of the plan already. I mean, you can't miss out a massive derby like that.
The East Midlands derby.
The Derby.
The Derby.
Yeah.
The Brian Clough Trophy derby.
Exactly.
Has this come from a Forest or Derby fan, may I ask?
No, it's come from a Chelsea fan, but from someone living in
the area.
I mean, the thing is, coming from the area myself, I know how big a derby it is. I know how much they hate each other. 2 teams have been very poor, to say the least, this season.
Underwhelming.
But on a bit of a upturn in form, Forest. Yeah, Derby won 3 of the last 5. It's one of them ones where it could go either way. And like you say, no fans there, they'll be absolutely gutted. It's the sort of one the fans love to be there. And I mean, personally, I think Derby missing their best player, Christian Vitek. I mean, I think maybe a bit biased coming in there, but personally, I just think he really he is a step above everyone else. Yeah. I mean, Wayne Rooney, I doubted him. He has done an alright job. He's got them in a better position.
Yeah.
Obviously, they're not in the bottom 3 anymore. They're moving up the table. And I think the thing is, I'm just looking now. Derby 9 points clear. Forest 10 points clear. And I think the thing is, pushing away from the bottom three. Obviously, Rotherham got a couple of games in hand, but if they carry on this torrid run of form, not really going to mean out. I think I'm going to back Forest personally. I mean,
do you know what? I'm going to back Forest.
Yeah,
he's a wise old owl, Chris Hughton, and you know I don't think they're going to play the most attractive. Look, you know from God, I was absolutely livid both times we lost to Nottingham Forest this season because we were the better side. Without
they don't know how to get a result,
but they do know how to get a result. And yeah, I do think Forest are going to get a win here. I think whoever does lose this game, I wouldn't say is in trouble, but is probably back looking over their shoulder, if that makes sense.
I do think I think if Forest win, I think that's them about clear.
Yeah.
Derby win, I think it's both of them. It only puts Derby 1 point ahead of Forest. And Derby have a game in hand. It is one of them ones where
see the table
just
there.
looking there. Thing is,
that's
you know what the Championship's like for relegation final day drama. So I'm going to back a Forest win, and my prediction for the game, I'm going to go for 2.
I'm going to go 1-0 to Forest. So yeah, 1-0 to Forest and 1-2. So next up, a very big character, shall we say, is back in English football. Mr. Are You an Ostrich? Nigel Pearson has taken over at Bristol City. His first game tomorrow is in one of the boost games against Swansea City, who have the best home record in the league and the best defensive record in the league. They've only conceded something ridiculous, like 19 goals all season. That's crazy. That's just so good.
But I think the thing was, the thing is, do you know what's he talking about? Nigel Pearson. I mean, if any of our friends who support Borough are watching, I mean, I can't imagine it was the best game to watch midweek.
I don't think he was taking charge.
No, I don't think he was. But the boost that a new manager that gives you, they'll definitely be playing to impress. And the thing is with Nigel Pearson, he's proven he is a good manager.
He's not one you'd want to get into a little tussle with as well.
Especially as a journalist. I mean, he's shown that about a 3-minute rant, which we actually watched the other day. And the thing is, he's shown what he did. I mean, he set up that Leicester title win by keeping them up. And the thing is with Bristol City, they're not going to go down. Yeah, they're not going to go down, Bristol City, let's be honest. I mean, they were on a ridiculously bad run of form, but I think they were already put too many points clear at that point. And I think it's sort of the same as what we said for... I mean, we did say about Cardiff.
Yeah.
Is he going to come in and do stuff next season? I mean, he could get them up this season the way they're going. I mean, unbelievable what a new manager can do. And yeah, what a man to get in the Championship, and who knows?
So, do you know what? Nigel Pearson in for his first game. I think they're going to hold Swansea to a 0-0 draw tomorrow.
Well, I said Bristol City to win, personally.
I can't see Bristol, because Swansea are that good at home. I can't see Bristol City winning, but I'm going to go 0-0. So in answer to Rory's question, no, the boost is not going to land.
Don't back it.
Well, I'm going to back it anyway, because it's just tradition.
Yeah, you've got to, haven't you?
Yeah.
But now, I like I say...
But I don't think it's going to come in, but I'm backing it anyway, if that makes sense. So yeah, it's not going to come in my opinion.
I won't be.
So another team that features on the Sky... keep talking about the boost.
I know.
Sky Bet boost is Barnsley.
We were just talking about them just before.
What a run they're on.
Yeah, and could they make the return to the chosen land? The promised land?
They're
one season.
One season. Can they add to it?
Well, I mean, last season... Staying up by pure luck.
No, give them some credit. They had to go to Brentford on the last day of the season and win.
Either way.
And don't forget, this is Barnsley, who 5 or 6 games into the season lost their manager. Gerhard Struber went out to New York Red Bulls.
Yeah.
Brought in a relatively unknown Valerian Ismail.
I remember watching Struber last season. He got on playing well for enough last season. He had jeans and Air Force.
Yeah. But no, Valerian Ismail comes in at Oakwell. He got him on a brilliant run of form. 1 point outside the playoffs.
And with a game in hand.
With a game in hand. Do you know what? There's always a team in the Championship that will come up. No one expects. There's no reason why that could be Barnsley.
Yeah, and do you know what? I'd love to see, because in my lifetime, I don't remember Barnsley being in the Premier League.
I know, it was before we
were born. Exactly. So. And it's like...
Someone new.
It's always nice to see
a new ground on FIFA.
Exactly. And I mean, it was like when Huddersfield come up. I don't support Huddersfield. I don't really care about them, let's be honest. But it's nice to see a new team come up and prove the doubters wrong. And in all fairness, different season to Huddersfield being top.
Yeah.
But similar in the fact that
they're not
the most fashionable teams. They're not fashionable. They're not what you'd... They're not... You wouldn't put them... And the thing is, next season, if they don't push on and get the player, I think they'll go back down to being near the bottom, personally. Yeah. I think they'll get picked off. So yeah, I mean, some of the players they've got will, like I say, will get picked off. Alex Milan, brilliant. Connor
Callum Styles,
yeah,
what a player he is. If they don't, get in the playoffs or go up, I think he's gone. He's a goner because he's a brilliant player. Corley Woodrow, great striker.
Corley Woodrow. I mean, he's banged them in the past couple of seasons, and yeah, I think it's like they've got to go for it, really, because if they don't go for it, I don't think they'll be in the same position next year.
No, this is would you say, do or die, really? It's this season or not.
Well, I think if there's any Barnsley fans that are watching, I doubt there will be. I don't know many Barnsley fans.
I don't think we've got much of a following in Barnsley yet, unfortunately.
Not yet. But I do think that they'll be over the moon. They're about safe already. They are safe already, let's be honest.
Yeah.
I can't see the bottom three picking up a massive run of form. They'll be happy, and it's just almost a bonus for them.
Yeah, definitely. So, as we always do, I always have to get a little mention. Do you know what? We had a run of fixtures. We lost to Norwich last week, which we spoke about.
Yeah.
And then we had two daunting fixtures coming up. Brentford at home and then Swansea away. Do you know what you were working, unfortunately, during the Brentford game, but we actually played really well.
Yeah.
We completely nullified Brentford. I think if Brentford was still playing now, they wouldn't have scored. We were that good.
Yeah.
And then we went to Swansea in the week where we gave a good account of ourselves.
And you say they have got a ridiculous
Swansea are a good team.
And it was it you say Mark Guay.
Mark Guay, oh my word!
Yeah.
What a player
he
is!
Yeah.
He's a rock.
That's the reason that they let Tomori go, in my opinion.
Yeah.
They've got the hopes on him. And
absolutely ridiculous. He will play in the top level for me. He was excellent.
Yeah.
Swansea, really good side. I can only credit them enough. We gave a good account of ourselves because you know what, if we'd have nicked a point, I don't think a Swansea fan could have really complained too much.
Yeah.
But we've got Blackburn tomorrow, who are on a torrid run of form. I don't see any reason why we can't go get a result if we played like.
Like you say, Blackburn, awful run of form. I think it's. The thing is, from a neutral point of view, I won't be able to tell you who'd go and win it. I think it's one of them ones. Whichever team wins it, they're going to go on a bit of a boost. Personally, we love that bloody word, don't we? Boost. Yeah. I think it might propel whichever team wins.
I mean, we spoke about earlier Derby Forest. Whoever wins is pretty much safe. If we win, if there is a loser in that game tonight, and we win tomorrow, I think we go level on points with them.
What with?
Whoever loses, I think.
No, you'd be 2 points behind them.
Are we not? No, with Derby.
With Derby, you go level on points with Derby.
Sorry, 2 points behind Forest.
Yeah.
Well, so 5 point gap now. If we do get, that could be 8, depending on results elsewhere.
Yeah. The thing is, you got to look at the bottom. The bottom.
All I'm saying is I'm not ready for this running. I'm dreading it. I'm dreading it's going to be horrible. But fingers crossed, we'll just have a nutter pull. We've got to talk about the big man, Joey Barton. Joey Barton in at Bristol Rovers. I mean, he did lose his first.
Yeah, they did lose against Gillingham, was it?
Has he lost his first 2, or is it just 1?
The thing is,
there's so many games at the minute.
The thing is, friend of the show, Mark Little, still not getting a run in with a new manager. Hopefully, he can get on Joey's. The thing is, we know what Joey Barton's like. I'm sure Mark will know what Joey Barton's like, even more than we do now after the couple of weeks training, however long it's been. But no, what a manager for him, really. I mean, the season they're having, they need someone like him to get him into shape.
He certainly won't stand for any
nonsense.
Should we say? Yeah, look, he did a good job at Fleetwood, but apparently his relationship with the owner deteriorated that much where he just had to go. But he didn't. He come out of that job with no disgrace or no shame. I think he'll keep Bristol Rovers up. Simple as that.
Yeah. But we'll move on.
Yeah.
To another.
A team that we ripped off quite a few weeks ago.
And I think they played 3 games extra than all the others around them. And they did get a bit of fortune, really. Above Burton, not including Burton, so the bottom 5, have been on an absolutely torrid run. And it's given Burton the opportunity to go on a good run. And like I say, in the last 6 games, they beat Charlton, Hull, Northampton and Gillingham. I mean, Charlton and Hull...
The only one they lost was Sunderland, wasn't it?
And
Ipswich. Which, there's no shame in losing them, especially with Sunderland on the run they're on at the minute.
Charlton and Hull, 2 teams that are up there, especially Hull.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. I mean, the thing is, I wouldn't write him out. I mean, Jimmy Floyd-Aspect, he knows Burton.
We did say when Jimmy Floyd went back to Burton Albion, we just said it'll be a case of have a decent end to the season and then probably just rebuild in league. You know what? We might have to revise that statement because he might have to. Well, he might keep
the Great Escape.
Great Escape. I
think they've got a couple of games in hand as well. I think if they win them 2 games in hand, they're out of the bottom 3.
Yeah.
So.
Why not?
Who knows?
You never know. Strange things have happened. We have to talk about, the what's the word? Romantic. The football romantic in us both. It fell perfectly.
What a
moment.
James Coppinger.
Our first ever guest interview, James Coppinger, last week. I'm assuming those who are watching aren't really fond, or not really familiar with League One football.
Yeah.
We'll say, put it up in simple terms, 40,
like the big 40.
Yeah, 40-year-old James Coppinger, who we had on the other week. Watch his interview if you haven't.
Yeah, it is, and the thing is, we say this about everyone, but it is brilliant because he is such an interesting man.
Yeah. Last week, he's been at Doncaster Rovers, 15 years
17.
now? 17. Even
2004 from Exeter.
So, he basically had like a game
kit.
Into his last season.
Kit.
Special game. It was all dedicated to him. He designed the kit. They were 3-1 down to Hull. They got one back in the 88th minute.
He come on at 3-2.
He comes on in the 12th minute of added time or something?
13th, I think.
13th minute of added time. The 40-year-old James Coppinger on his special day steps up.
Turned back the years with that.
Free kick into the top corner in a local derby.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. It's a really good story, and we're very happy for him. And hopefully, I do hope for him that Doncaster can go on and get promotion now. Yeah. What an end to a brilliant career that'd be.
Do you know what? I do think that if they do get promoted and the fans are back, surely I think he'll sign a 1 year. They're begging him to.
He's got to.
They are begging it. He's got to. And I mean, the thing is, he's going to have the biggest testimonial of his life once the fans are back. And
I just hope.
Do you know what? I'm gonna stick on that. We're gonna have to go. We're gonna have to get a ticket, of course. We couldn't miss that.
And I do hope for being in at the minute. I do hope he gets the
he deserves it.
He gets a send off he deserves. Which we're out, at the end after we've gone through the EFL, we can actually talk about Mr. Johnson's roadmap and everything and what that means for football. So let's just breeze through.
Boris. I was there thinking Johnson.
Let's just breeze through League Two. I don't, if you've not watched the highlights, go and watch the Forest Green versus Southend highlights from last week.
That is
Nathan Ferguson's goal for Southend is a potential Puskas.
Behind James Coppinger's free kick.
Behind James Coppinger's free kick. It's a potential Puskas award. It is unbelievable. From a centre half.
Yeah, it's an arrow. It is an absolute arrow into that top left corner, and no keeper in the world is saving that. The thing is, you look at it, he takes one touch. I think he's not in it from. My God, what a hit!
It's one of them. It's like the Vincent Kompany goal.
Yeah.
For Man City v Leicester, but better in my opinion.
But I mean, it could be. And the thing is, if you actually put it into context, Southend they have picked up a bit of form. Yeah. They've signed Mr. Ranger,
which we spoke about.
We spoke about last week. Forest Green, absolutely unbelievable form. Looking like this could be the year. I mean, the chairman says it I remember when he said that getting out of the conference is the hardest thing. He said it would be easier to get to the Premier League than get out of the conference. I mean, they were in the conference for years. They've obviously got up. This could be the year they go up. And what a way to be a bit of a party pooper. I mean, everyone
it ruined my acca as well. It was Forest Green were the only one to let me down, but do you know what? With a goal like that, sometimes you just have to think, bloody hell.
And needed when you think Grimsby beat Crawley.
Yeah.
And Barrow won it. Who did they beat? I know they won.
Yeah.
And I mean, it is a massive win and a massive goal, and like you say, what a way to do it.
So yeah, full credit to Southend and full credit to Nathan Ferguson. If you haven't watched that goal, go and watch it. It is unbelievable.
I think Sky put it on, and I mean now Everton and Southend are going to be on Sky.
Exactly. And then final thing we're going to talk about in the EFL, how satisfying is the League 2 table at the minute?
Well, yeah, 100%. The thing is about, I'm looking 11, 12 teams, if not 30. To be honest, you could keep going down. You could say even Scunthorpe that are down in 16th, the form that they've been showing at the minute. There's no reason why they couldn't go on a late run. They're only 11 points off. You think the games to play, the form they're in, some of the form that the top 8 are in, there's no reason. I mean, I couldn't call who's going to go up.
But yeah, the table in League 2 at the minute, it's Cambridge first, 52. Forest Green second on 51.
In fact, no, Forest Green.
Cheltenham third, 50. You know how it is. It's just basically every team's 1 point behind each other, all the way down to
10th.
10th place, which is Carlisle United,
who have been so unlucky recently.
Yeah.
I mean, they can't get a game in.
But you know what? Stuff like that is why I love League 2. It's such a entertaining league, and I think it's going to be a really interesting end to the season with the table nicely propped up as it is.
Do you know what as well? What I love about League 2 is you can't predict it.
No,
I mean you look.
Who'd have Southend going to win 3-1 at Forest Green?
But then who'd have more coming fourth
on a zero goal difference? It's brilliant.
I mean,
I think they'd get him over the line if they started playing.
Yeah, and I think I know I'm saying this with Stags 19th. Who would have called that? You'd have thought. The way that they were signing players, the business they were doing, the managers they've got. I mean, the people they've got in the background, you'd have thought they were doing a lot better. Colchester, they were in the playoffs not that long ago. 2021, 23rd.
Sacked the manager in the week as well.
Yeah, absolutely torrid for them. And yeah, it's just ridiculous, that league. And
we'll be keeping an eye on League 2. Because it's going to be quite an interesting end to the season.
It is. And we have actually got another question.
Go on. Who's it from?
Harry Corbett says, #Project Mbappe. If Liverpool were able to buy Mbappe, which one would you sell, Salah or Mane? Personally, I'd sell Mane out of the two, as Salah's goals are harder to replace. Do you know what?
Bloody good question.
That is the best question that we've ever had on this show, because, do you know what? I think there's not a wrong answer.
I've got there.
Yeah, Salah's goals.
I can't even call this. Do you know what? This is one for Twitter poll.
Do you know? Yeah, that is actually going to go on Twitter after this. Personally, do you know what I'd say?
I'd sell Mane because I just think Salah's that good. No, look, they're both world class footballers, but I just think Salah's better.
I'm going to disagree.
Right.
Well, we may as well cause a bit of controversy. I'd get rid of Salah. Personally, I think you get more money for Salah to put towards him, and the goals that you're lacking from Salah, you're surely going to get in from Mbappe.
Maybe.
But the thing is, where would you play Mbappe? Because personally,
it's a completely
I play him through the centre.
If you really think that the Fenway Sports Group are going to fork out all this money for Kylian Mbappe, they're not. But it is a really good question.
Yeah, it's one of them ones.
It's one of them. The Jeremy Clarkson meme where he's got the two cars where he goes, I like that one. That's me with Salah and Mane. I like Mane. Fantastic player. I really like Salah. He's just such a good player.
Yeah. The thing is, I prefer Mane. I think they're both. Do you know what?
But we are going to put that to Twitter.
Because he plays for Liverpool as well. You shouldn't put Mane. He's just such a top bloke. The whole thing he does with the mosque. He cleans the toilets in the mosque. He sends all this money back home to Senegal. Builds houses, builds schools. I know it's something to do with football, and he's a world class footballer at the end of the day. I'd say, I think I'm saying Salah more as well So I'm
Just
not agreeing, yeah.
Yeah.
But I do think that, like I say, you get more money for Salah. That's what you'd think. And, you know, like what you say, Liverpool, they're not the one to splash that big.
No.
And if they were going to do it, they'd need to get the funds up front. And I think that's probably the best way to do it. And I think that Mbappe provides the goals, but playing in that central role ahead of Mbappe probably on the bench.
Right, so we'll put that to Twitter. We've got 5 minutes left.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, actually, no. In fact, we have got another question from Andy Hall. Have you noticed the points of the top 10 in League 2 all go down numerically?
We just mentioned that.
Has he been listening? Is he deaf? Has he not been listening? No, we have noticed, and it is satisfying. And like we were saying, that is
kind of want us to just call it now so it stays like that.
I know. And that's what you said. That is what you just love about League 2, you know. I mean, you know League 2. Well, we both know League 2 very well. You know.
Well, don't get me wrong. I'd never want to go to League 2 again. But as a neutral, I love to sit down.
You spent one season there, didn't you?
Yeah, thank God.
Yeah. I say I spent the season there.
What with Arsenal?
Not with Arsenal. Bloody hell, no. Not with Mansfield, but I don't think anyone knows about that. No, and I know what it's like, and it is, like you say, they just pull results out of nowhere. And the thing is, there's
Bolton, the way they've...
No, I think Morecambe. In terms of the full...
Oh, no, but the start Bolton had, they've shot the league now, 4 wins in a row, so
and if they can carry
I hope
on
so, because I've got Bolton to go up on my start of season accumulator.
Didn't you have him to win?
Yeah, I did have it to win it.
So what is that? They've got to get top 3.
But it'll pay out if they get promoted by the playoffs.
Oh, well, yeah.
So, yeah.
And the thing is, you won't call them out on the form they're on.
No, 4 wins in a row, isn't it?
Yeah, something like that. They are, 4. Yeah. And they've got Barrow tomorrow. But then again, that is probably the sort of game that Barrow are going to go and win 2-0.
Because it's League 2 and
because it is League 2.
Right, quickly, just before we end...
He said, sorry, took a while to type it. We accept the apology. Thank you for watching.
Just before we end, you know, if you haven't... Well, I don't think there's one person in the country who didn't really pay attention to what the Prime Minister had to say on Monday. Boris Johnson setting out his our roadmap to freedom, our exit plan, as he likes to call it. You know, we're looking, you know, halfway through the Euros, where to open stadiums to everybody again and drop all the social distancing rules. And do you know what? That can't come soon enough, really, can it? Because
do you know what we haven't even mentioned? It could be moved to England.
And it could be moved to England.
And it could.
Do you know what? Here's a question for next week. If you were in the FA and England got the Euros, send us a list of the 10 stadiums.
I've seen your list and I disagree with it. There's one big stadium missing.
12. Send us a list. I said 12. We'll call it 12.
Call it 12, yeah.
Send us a list of the 12 stadiums that you would use for England hosting the Euros.
And we'll put it on Twitter.
But
we'll put that next week, because you did miss a big stadium out that should have been on there.
Yeah, we'll put our respective lists out there. But just before we end, you know, the Prime Minister saying, hopefully, fingers crossed, touch everything that we can. June, we can start going to football again. Bloody hell, I can't wait, because, do you know what, I think, you know, as good as football's been during this tough time, to have with us, oh my God, I miss going. And I miss watching a goal go in and the crowd being behind the goal. It can't come soon enough for me.
I'm just looking forward to ending up in some random League 1. 2 teams that I couldn't care less about, but just getting into it. And hopefully get some more Arsenal games. I mean, it's made me realise, you know...
Oh, I'll never miss
I want to go to... I want to start going to more, you know, get the plastic fan off my head. And yeah, hopefully we can get to a few more games and
you know what? I hope and pray that every club up and down the country, even the ones I don't like, has a sellout for their first home game.
Oh, they will, 100%.
It'd be so significant. And
you think they'll 100% have a sellout. I mean, people will just want to get to a game, won't they?
But I think what we've learned from coronavirus is go and watch your local football team when you can.
100%.
Because, you know...
Don't take it for granted.
Don't take it for granted. Yeah. If you get the opportunity to go to a game, just go.
Yeah.
And go and watch your local football team because they'll need your help.
And I think we'll end it there because we have got definitely the Rico from Andy. So he's a bit of a dig.
Thanks for that, Andy.
But now,
we'll end on that note.
Thank you for listening. We appreciate that. You know, I'm really enjoying the live ones. It went 100 times better than last week.
Yeah.
Less less that. look out for the Martin Craig. We're going to put a clip out.
Well, if we got to mention that, really, really good interview.
Yeah.
Lovely lad.
And we managed to get about 8 massive names out there for the thumbnail, for a bit of clickbait for you.
No, really nice lad, really good interview. Yeah, some big names mentioned. So yeah, part 1 on Sunday, hopefully, and fingers crossed, part 2 on Tuesday. So yeah,
or Wednesday.
Thank you to Martin for coming on.
Yeah.
Best of luck to him and Luton Town for the rest of the season. And no, we won't mention it. It's a surprise.
I'm just saying.
Surprise.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
All I'm going to say is keep your eye on Luton Town's goal scorers this season, and something that might happen.
Yeah.
But no, thanks to Martin for coming on. Best of luck to him and to Luton Town for the rest of the season. We'll throw it in a few weeks, but we'll gloss over that.
Yeah.
And thank you to everybody for watching. So yeah, have a good week, and we'll see you next Friday.
Thank you for this. Yeah, and yeah, keep an eye out for the videos. And I'll finish that on that note. If I can finish it.